Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my last play of Rabbids Go Home for the Nintendo Wii/Nintendo DS. So, last time that we've actually did manage to fully completely done with the rest of world, Area 4 I should say. And, yeah, today for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that we are about to be presenting you the beginning of Area 5. So we're getting quite close towards the end of the game, so expecting we've only got about 2 more areas left, and then once that's been done so, then, you know, the rest of the entire journey experience is to able to actually get ourselves even more stuff will be fully accomplished with. So, yeah. Everything else will be come together, so yeah, as to be expected. So, something I just want to mention about this actually, but one thing I forgot to mention during the likes of the last video ever since yesterday, apparently I've accidentally managed to able to nab one of those stuff, well, only one of them I should say, that I managed to accidentally obtain one by the forms of the town. So if you probably couldn't tell by the forms of the last videos, pile stack is actually increased by 1. Because the reason being for that is because I was in a rush, and also by the forms of actually just about to prepare to able to get this game accomplished with, even by the forms of before we get into the rest of the Rayman Raving Rabbids series at some point soon. So, expecting that might be on its way, so even then though, don't worry, things were able to become. So, anyway. So, as to be expected, that we need to deal out with these two duos here before we move along. And, I believe in order to actually get to Area 5 is that we are about to be hop in to the actual bus. See if then though, that way it could able to actually get some potentials of how the destination is going to be located. So, let's insert those 70 of those stuff at the moment and we'll go inside. Now, as far as you probably already know about the helicopter was there, well, that'll be for the final area of the game. So, spoiler alert if those of you haven't seen this yet. So, anyway, so much like any forms within Area 4, we have to once again come across into 6 levels. So, yeah, let's just see how, yeah, they're about the exact same levels as Area 5 was, but except we have to go after every single different object. So here we go with the first level in Area 5. Here we have Rabbids Go Boom. So expecting that the actual item for this level is going to be a piano. So yeah, expecting for 101 Dalmatians, so expected to have that little particular familiar iconic musical instrument. So but even then though, except the fact that Revenant takes place in London instead is good. What the? Okay, glitches gives him my nerves. It really does. Anyway, as I was saying, rather than this takes place in London, unlike any forms of 101 Dalmatians, and instead it's going to be takes place in somewhere across the airport. So, but even then though, there's might be one of those emphases that you might actually think we're going to be, you know, hop onto the forms of the actual like plane jet thingy again. Well, it wasn't, so even then though we have to go for on trolley by trolley. So yeah, you get the idea. So okay, so once again we need to deal with these guys again, even though that sometimes for whatever reason that these guys always seem to love hiding those bushes before I decide to able to actually just about to ambush them for some reason how. But either way though, we've done it as usual, so there we go. And also, people, would you mind for that specific reason? Well, not you guys across the world, but just these people in this entire game. So, yeah, I just want to point things out. So, and again, I do apologize by the forms of, you know, sometimes my voice wasn't exactly the most accuracy at the moment, just because, well, I felt pretty much lacking with, liquid, well, for hydration and stuff. But even then, as soon as whenever I'm done with this recording session, then I would able to actually get more hydrated. So expecting I can able to recover my voice or breath. So because trust me, trying to able to actually do commentary on most of those things is a bit of a traumatizingly multitasking, by the way. So expecting that will be able to be happening. So Alright, so let's go ahead and continue, because I think we've done with that for now. And we need to activate all 3 of these buttons in the corresponding order. That way we should be able to unlock the door to be able to actually move us to the next area. So, and ever since that we've still got the forms of 5 light bulbs, this means the forms of the health storage becomes incredibly easier throughout. Even by the forms of how the fact that, well, the game likes you able to actually just about to be doing with the minigame tasks and stuff. So, expecting that, that's how you're essentially gonna get your, you know, light bulb, sorry, the health extension. So, that makes it a little bit obvious. Alright, so, just have to go through this little water physics, and sometimes it'll just slip me up. And it's a shame, because you can't really deal with the forms of that little, speed boost if you manage to able to. Oh wow, that was quite a pretty nerve-wracking area right there. Even if you really want to get the forms of every single stuff, then sure enough that you can do that. So, but you just have to be very careful for the most part though, because if you get hit several times, well, if you don't deliver the forms of that special rabbit, but the forms of the one with the tuber and stuff, basically your stuff will be lost. So again, that you have to watch out for it. Especially you really don't want to lose all of your health tremendously. So today was actually forms of the 21st of November 2018. I really cannot believe we're almost there to December already. So, because again, time went really fast and quick, don't you really think? But anyways though, enough about that topic. Tomorrow that, you know, Super Mario 3D World, Mario Party Island Tour for the 3DS, and especially notable for The Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds, and even a PlayStation 4 North American's launch day, and especially notable with the Xbox One, but it forms of back in 2013, 22nd of November. Those particular gaming stuff is now going to be 5 years old tomorrow, so jeez, 5 years. Time really do flies, doesn't it? But I think I've already said that before, but it forms of during the likes of the last video or something. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna question about that again. So even then, though, that makes a little bit more sense to you. So anyway, so let's go ahead and grab some more things here, and including those little hamburgers and such. While just simply distracting that Father Christmas again. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Even though that we've only got ourselves like 34 days for now. So yeah, because you know, today was the 21st. So you know, you get the idea and you get the drill at the same time. Something is worth mentioning though is the fact that you know how the fact that Mario already mentioned about this in during the likes of in Super Mario Odyssey Let's Play. We did say about the fact that we did manage to order ourselves Mario Superstar Baseball for the Nintendo GameCube, but it forms of one of the last Mario games I've ever going to have, but it forms of Nintendo GameCube collection for Mario titles like this. And I'm gonna say, out of all the eBay items that I've managed to able to order from, well, technically Mario does it for us, for the forms of how the fact that we can able to get it from here. Mario Superstar Baseball, on the other hand, though, is the most trickiest and most difficult game to able to actually just to deliver it from. I have no idea why that's been happening, but at the end of the day, well, we did actually technically did order that back in, I would say classifying as, I don't know, probably during, oh yeah, we got ourselves a fire hydrating sequence, again, but hey. At least it's quite fun to watch though, even with the charming humor and stuff. Anyways, enough about that. Because fundamentally, I think Mario mentioned about the fact that we did manage to order that Mario Superstar Baseball back in about, let's just say the 23rd of October. So, about a month later, that's expecting a 1 month delay. At least compared to the forms of like Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 for the PlayStation 3, and Wario World for the GameCube, and even Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube. That it takes a bit of a quick time to able to actually just able to deliver it. However, though, that's not the same applies for Mario Superstar Baseball to me though. But either way though, that it's not that bad of a game. Like, I did manage to test that out, and it seems to be a heck of a lot more fun. The only thing I need to get used to though is the forms of the GameCube controller controls for the baseball game, because I'm really used to with the forms of Mario Super Slugger's controls at this rate, because in that game utilizes the shoot. Great, looks like we have to go all the way back. Well, good thing that the checkpoint was there, so even then we'll try that again. And it's a good thing too, I do not able to lose my progression when it comes to getting most of my stuff by the forms of this level alone, so you get the idea. I think fundamentally that at the very end of this world, of this area in particular, Area 5, now the fact of the matter is though, is that originally they were going to be thinking about the forms of like the actual like, you know, the actual pile platforming level that we're going to be able to come across. Well, that will be at the very end portion of the game, because after we're able to reach at the very end of Area 5, we get ourselves by the forms of the final minigame challenge, which will come across into that as soon as we're able to actually get to it. So, anyways though, let's go ahead and just try this again. And I'm going to take for this pipe right here, so just in case I can able to actually nab every single stuff from between these pipes. And also we need to get rid of those little inflatable looking objects that has been sticking out through the pipes. So even though I'm probably not gonna go after every single items honestly with the pipe section, just because of how the fact that I swear by the forms of how the fact that without any changing maneuvering camera controls, you can't really tell what's just ahead of you. So even then I was gonna get myself a little bit nerve-wracking at one point, which even then it's nothing too awful or anything, it's just that, well, it just almost feels a little bit too nerve-wracking for my book. But anyways, enough about that, so let's go and get these stuff here. And I think that pretty much does it from the bottom section from here. So, I could go from the actual that section over there, but I guess I might as well come back for that. And, nah, I might rather not, because I'm probably not gonna restart the whole entire process again. So anyways, let's try this, you know, leaping from propeller to propeller again. So hopefully with a successful attempt, things get a little bit more easier now. So there we go. And good thing as well is the fact that we come across into a checkpoint of any sorts, but before we do that, let me just grab the rest of those green packs of bottles right here, and we can able to actually insert the last few bits and bobs, and right from the get-go, we've actually reached to the highest amount of presents that we've got already. So how about that then, huh? And of course, without even leaving the level, is the fact that we have to deal with, of course, people-enemy encounters. So, oh my god. With the water physics as well, it just makes it incredibly impossible to able to deal with them with the forms of the water momentum and stuff. So, and the good thing as well is the fact that the actual weapon I've managed to got with me, it allows me to able to actually just instantly manage to KO them. So, well, not so much for KO them, but just to able to actually get rid of any kind of parts. So, anyways though, let's go ahead and just turn around for a little bit, and hopefully I might as well hope for the best. There we go. I'm presuming you have to encounter like 6 of those people anyway, just in case of how the fact that for added challenge and stuff. So, that stupid water physics. Seriously, they do remind me of the forms of the ice levels from, shoot. The ice levels from the forms of the 3D games, or especially sometimes 2D games. But there we go, we have essentially done with the actual main level, but we cannot even forget the actual required items. So here's the piano right here. So before we grab the piano, and the fact of the matter is though, is that we're almost nearly towards the end. Well, I would say by the forms of like, well, 0.5 meters to get to there. Which, either way though, it might be wrong, or I may be wrong about that. But anyways, we are done with the actual main level. So, it's not too bad though, especially noticeable with Rabbids Go Boom and all that stuff. What is this, like Rabbids Boom or anything else? I'm just only kidding. So anyways though, as you expected, we've got 4 presents, and we off by 14 of those, you know, these remaining items, probably due to the forms of like, somewhere well hidden, and sometimes the pipe section, so, oh well, no big deal. At least so far so good anyway, well, despite the fact with the accidental death only forms of the actual pipe section, so it doesn't really matter to me, honestly. Alright, so we've almost nearly towards at the top, and yeah, that's what I can really think about. So, anyways, I think we might actually do one more level for this point and onwards, folks. And here we have Fetechez I can't really pronounce that level's name very well. I do apologize for that. But it's something related to France or German or anything like that. So, and of course, much like any forms of the previous cow levels, we have to carry the cow all the way to the very end, including Apocalypse Cow. But except this time around, though, it takes place in a construction site because you see those oils slipping all over the place if you manage to touch one of them. And especially noticeable with the forms of, well, just pretty much everything. So, yeah, if you slip on right there, you don't necessarily take damage, but you will slip off no matter what. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get some more stuff here. And, oh wow, that was really bad for that little attempt right there. Thanks to that little water physics and stuff. Well, usually buddy forms of, just slips around all over the place with those kinds of obstacles like so. But anyway, off topic for this point. So anyways, in order to actually get from one point A to point B is that we need to be able to just go through those, little kind of pipes, or in this case, these little construction parts. So that way we can able to easily fit through for the actual hull, which I do appreciate it by this kinds of stuff. But on the other hand though, there's not much I can really talk about, so alright, so let's go ahead and just get some more stuff due to the actual bump of the ramp, and hopefully we'll be able to continue. So before we do that, I should just able to use activate the forms of that special boost, but I failed that time, so we'll try that again. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a good start. There we go. And hopefully we're able to actually gather as many of this stuff. And just like the ones in the forms of, bubble bed blues, we have to deal with the forms of tilting platforming. So, except it's going to be a lot more trickier to involve with this time around though. So, don't expect it if you're able to keep on falling off. So, yeah, you just have to watch out for that. So, alright, so let's grab this. I love that sequence. Do you honestly think how the fact that they can able to actually act out as drills and stuff, I mean, could it just be a lot more potential of how the fact that I just really like that specific shot whenever they managed to able to show the camera angles in somewhat of a difference and stuff. I don't know. It just feels kind of I don't know what do I think about. But anyways, enough about that little lame dialogue I have to point out, but hey. And would you look at that, we've actually got ourselves the cow from the get-go. So, rather than just needed to able to actually obtain him in the forms at the very end of a level, so to speak. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool stuff as well. So, anyways, before we continue from this point, we need to just get some more stuff due to the actual ramp. And this is why the platforming itself can get pretty intense every nowadays, especially noticeable how the fact that, well, we do need to utilize the forms of the actual speed boost in order to actually just proceed. So, but if you don't perform it well enough, then chances are you might as well able to actually fall off, and you have to restart the entirety of the checkpoint where you left off. So, you get the idea with that. So, anyway, let's get ourselves a good start. There we go, that's more like it. And just so that happens out of the fact that sometimes the tilting platforming can really mess you up at points. So anyway, I think we should just get a good start here. And boom, there we go. And now let's head back and grab that stuff here. And just get a good start again, just to move forward a little bit. Even by the forms of that specific standards. I did that too early! Oh, dang it. Oh, I just realized I just did that too early for this little speed boost timing requirement. Oh well, no big deal. Okay, but at least, again, that I can able to actually re-grab this stuff again after whenever I manage to able to get a checkpoint from it. So thankfully though, I don't have to worry about that kinds of stuff, unlike, money is time, time is money, honey. So, yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and dash from here again, and just get ourselves a good start once again. And, hopefully, hope for the best for the actual run of like this. So, alright, so there we go. Now we've passed for that, and farewell, goodbye. But I'm sure he will survive. Well, not until when he come across into his, the highest height as possible, even without any kind of platforming and stuff. So, anyways, though. I hate jumps like that happen sometimes because it is very hard to able to judge the distance. I mean, this is hard to able to judge the distance sometimes. I mean, that's the only thing I kind of despise it, but not so much as often. But either way, that was definitely my fault again, so whoops. But I'm hoping this wasn't a glitch or anything like that. It's just that I haven't exactly reached for that specific distance, so yeah, that's definitely my fault for that timing requirement. But as long as it doesn't have a glitch or anything like that, so either way though. Something I just want to mention, I really totally forgot to able to tell you guys, but in forms of the actual add-on channel, but in forms of this game in particular for Rabbids Go Home. Apparently though, much like in forms of in Mario Kart Wii, and especially noticeable for Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus, this game does have an additional channel, but in forms of Rabbids TV channel, which it's kind of like the same thing for Rabbids Go Home, except that you can able to customize your own Rabbids and join that specific application or that channel. But the thing is nowadays is the fact that this game does have Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. I'm not exactly sure, but because I keep on thinking of the forms of Rayman Raving Rabbids 2 that does have a Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. And especially notable with Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party. So, but I really don't know if Raving Rabbids travel in time though, just because I no longer have that game anymore. Just because, well, it just feels a little bit too, well, unbalanced to me though, compared to the forms of the superior Rayman Raving Rabbids 1, 2, and especially the TV Party most likely. So, but that's just me. But anyways, though, we got ourselves these guys once again, and just like before, we need to just deal with them from here. I mean, it's pretty clear at this point, we're gonna have to do the exact same stuff over and over again, but the only difference is the fact that with the forms of the different world environments and stuff, like for instance, the actual building construction site, as far as you already know, and especially noticeable with the forms of like, until we get to later levels, then, sometimes environments do really tend to change every once in a while. Well, normally speaking, so, especially how games usually do that these days. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and move along, and, if I ever go there, or, I guess I might as well get, most of the stuff to the actual, there we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on, and of course we have to encounter another set of baddies, well, usually for Speaking itself, and it appears to be we have to come across into these dogs here, so let's go ahead and just use that little rapid canyon and stuff like that for that nature. Oh, that was not fair. I mean, I hate when things like that happen. That's like almost like a retro video game thing. If you manage to get hit, and then knock back and hit you to like the bottomless pit down below. I mean, don't remind me for this point, folks, but this is almost like a retro video game for that specific style. But either way though, it's nothing too awful, or it's nothing that retro. I mean, usually, for what I've noticed is that, this game was now been out for 9 years, well, until when it gets to like 2019. That this game will now become 10 years old, alongside with the forms of Sonic and the Black Knight, and of course Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story for the Nintendo DS version, so that's why they managed to able to, remake that game on the 3DS to make as a debut for the 10th year anniversary of the original version of Bowser's Inside Story in the first place. And yeah, that's what I could really think about. And also, what also did came out in 2009, I wonder? Well, definitely, Wii Sports Resort, Wii Fit Plus, and, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and of course this game in particular, Rabbids Go Home, and, what else that came out in 2009? I think that's what I can think of. Oh yeah, besides Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games for the Vancouver 2010 installment on the forms of the Nintendo Wii and Nintendo DS. Well, I just noticed this particular cannon right there has now actually had 2 hit points instead of the usual 3. I think the reason being for that is because we need to keep on backtracking between all the way back to the beginning just to fetch the forms of the actual, like, the bomb item, so just in case it deals the amount of damage to the forms of the actual, like, the cannon itself. Before we continue on, let me double check on that specific area without even falling off to death, and that will have to be these cones that I need to grab. And I think that pretty much checks it from here, and yeah, let's just go ahead and move along. So, anyway, and of course we got ourselves. Did they seriously run like a pretty bad frame rate at the moment? I'm like consuming so anyway, even though, how dare you, you stupid little coward. Jeez, what is the matter with you? But anyways though, we've managed to be able to deal with them, so either way, so let's go ahead and get these little cute little doggies. But anyways, let's go ahead and just deal with that. And of course we cannot even forget the forms of that special boost ability. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that we've gone through every single abilities that we've had throughout the game so far. So, I mean, naturally speaking, that we've already come across into the forms of, like, let's just say, like, only 2 of those new abilities and stuff like that for these 2 duo rabbits at the moment. So, yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying by the forms of the Rabbids TV channel is that, well, you know, it just functions the same way as how it does in Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart channel back in 2008. That, or in this case, a decade ago now. Normally it just takes you onto the exact same game a little bit, except it's just a add-on channel. So, yeah, there's not much else you can tell from this part. Eventually, during the likes of I would say in 2010 or something like that, even though it will be no longer going to be purchasable at the moment, but because of, you know, the Wii Shop channel is now going to be closing, and during the likes of, like, well, 2 months time now, and, eventually, that back in the day, that in 2010, that they managed to get ourselves their own WiiWare title by the forms of Rabbids Lab, which is more likely the extended version of the Rabbids Lab from this game, but the only major difference is the fact that it's on the WiiWare. So, in fact, I don't know if I can show that off in this for this particular point of this Let's Play, just because, well, I just don't have Rabbids Lab. So because of that, though, I might be too late to able to actually obtain that application right now, just because, you know, the Wii Shop channel is no longer in existence with us. Well, at least in terms of until when it gets to, like, again, 2 months' time. Alright, so here we go with this particular section right there, and basically, if you were familiar with the forms of, like, some of the Legend of Zelda segments, that we need to able to toss the bombs at the enemies. But the thing is about this is that we need to watch over by the forms of those green tile platforms, and then once the actual bombs did manage to explode on the forms of that specific green platform, as you can see on this little flashing red, it creates a bottomless pit below. So we need to be very careful right there, especially you don't want to let the bombs explode, or in this case exposed, by the forms of that specific green platform, and once it done so, then you would fall off and you have to redo the entire process again. So, and of course the end of the level is just on the left side, which I'm probably going to go there in just a second, because I cannot even left until whenever I manage to discover another set of items will be on the other side as well. So there we go, we are essentially be good to go. So naturally speaking, let's go and get ourselves a pretty good boost here until whenever we get ourselves even more plentiful of items from here, and so much so for birds. Anyway, and we've reached the very end of the level, so there we go. Alright, so I'm presuming that even though we haven't got to the halfway point of Area 5 yet, but I'm sure that we can able to actually finish up that in time. So, anyways though, let's see how well we did. Oh, we off by 17, but that's okay because, well, you know, we've already got all 4 of those presents. So, hey, at least that probably does it so. So, into the toilet down below. Flushed away. But anyways, folks, I'm afraid, guys, we got to end things off at this point right there. Join me next time on Let's Play Rabbids Go Home. It's the fact that we're going to be hopefully trying to able to wrap things up with Area 5. And then in the next video after that will be the final area of the game, Area 6. I can't believe we're actually going pretty darn close towards the end. So anyways, see you guys next time. Later, fellas.